What up, guys? My name is Pernell here, and we are back with another comic review. Today, it will be on Endless Night Encore. We're doing the second chapter. We're not doing the third, because through the times that I've tried to record this one, I realized that the analysis of everything takes too long. If I do two chapters, it makes it a 42-minute to 30, makes it 35 to 42-minute video, and if I do that for every episode, it's gonna be a long series and no one's gonna really be that interested in it. So if I do one chapter, I think it should be a bit better because it won't be as long. So we left off with Aura, the girl who killed herself, and dying wish was to be Death's bride. Ends up with the supposed god of death, Victor, and he's pretty much a loser, she says, and he's not what she expected, which I guess is true. You'd expect someone gnarly or someone really graphic, but it's not. It's just some guy. It's just some guy without a neck. I mean, dude. Who's gonna give you a check for a dead body that they just drop on your footsteps, man? What's gonna give you a dead check? Like, if you drop a body, you just chucking it in the basement to incinerate? Maybe that's what he means by time to throw it in the basement is incinerate the body, but he's deaf. He shouldn't need to incinerate or do anything with it. He should just be able to just snap his fingers and make disappear or something. If he really is god of death in this afterlife, supposed afterlife. Now, this could be limbo or purgatory. This could be similar to those two spots where you get judged. Possibly. But who knows? After all, this could be the real world. Ah, yes. The normal interaction between a girl and a male in any comic or anime. The normal interaction between the person that loves and the person that is dumb. The normal reaction. Poke the eye out, or punch him, or do something. But it doesn't seem like that's what she's doing here. And she just picks it up and goes in a stance, and she doesn't even care that it's like oozing, whatever. Oh, someone left a note for this body? Victor's just so there's a tiny little tear for his missing eye. You're an immortal being, supposedly. You should be fine with missing an eye, right? You should easily be able to regenerate that eye if you're an immortal being. I mean, if she gives you back that eye, she's pretty much poked a hole in it. So maybe his eyes are hollow and he just has sight no matter what. So even if his eyes are closed or gone, he just sees everything like normal death. Because he could just be a skeleton, and those eyes and the face that he has is just for appearances with his power. But in actuality, he has no eye sockets or anything. He has no eyes. He just has eye sockets, and they still see. That doesn't seem to be the case because he's in pain. Who left a note? I don't think it would be a check. But it could be. And he's already over it. He's just scratching his eye hole and his head like Oh. So let's get this straight. Someone dumps a body, leaves a note saying "for you" with hearts and a wink with a tongue sticking out. Yes. Very, very interesting. Must be someone that admires your death. Must be a secret admirer to just leave your corpse and then a note. It must be someone that likes you. And now that arc right there, now that's either her blushing or that's just a regular character design, because you know how some comics or animes just sometimes draw their characters like face like that and then have like already the blush circles around it, and they're just, I've seen it in a couple anime where they draw on the characters with already the blush color or blush ovals, and then they just leave it off of that, and you can't tell if they're blushing or not, but it just becomes natural. So maybe that's the case here? Who knows? She could be, I mean, why would she be blushing though in the first place? Maybe jealous? No, if you're jealous, you get a bit mad. You wouldn't get blushing. Unless it looks cute, I guess. Maybe. Who knows? Oh, you guys got cell phones? I guess it is the afterlife, so it could or could not. Yes, let's just look for a client. We're just gonna send pictures of this dead girl's corpse, you know, to potential clients. We're gonna be like, send an email, a message to them saying, "Hey, want to pay for this girl's funerals? Here's a pic." That's just so bad. Although I hope they don't do it like that, because like, that's just really, really bad. If you're on the client list for this type of stuff, for paying for funerals, and you just get sent these pictures of dead people that are questioned with, "You want to pay for the funeral?" It just doesn't seem normal or right to me. But then again, it's the afterlife or this world, so maybe it's allowed in this world. I mean, maybe it's not frowned upon to be staring at a dead body and wanting to pay for it. I guess it is charity, so if it's a corporation that does it, I mean, they could write it off as a tax, but there is some sort of system here because he's in debt. Yes, pretty girl's gonna get in. Yes, we're just gonna send this pretty girl and someone will pay for it. Simping 101. Yes, I'm gonna simp for a dead girl. God damn, some people, man. I guarantee you someone would. And if this is the afterlife, there's probably gonna be somebody there that's into that. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, there's the blush again. Or a non-blush. Oh, it is true. We are swayed. If we don't like the look of something, if something's not pretty, we're not going to read it or look at it for long. We're just going to throw it away or close it and not really care about it. That's what we'll do if it doesn't look pretty to us. Lines on straight. Never mind. Why do they all have eyeliners, like black eyeliners under it? Under their eyes. I guess gods can be too. By this look. Oh, okay, so that is a blush. Okay, so that's the blushing. Got it. So before she wasn't. Okay. But just this look. Wow, dude. You must. Wow. I mean, if this was your wish and someone granted it, right? Someone granted your dying wish to be Death's bride. And Death is already acting like this. I have an assumption that he knows more about her than he lets on. Well, I guess if he's Death, he should know how they died. So he probably does know how she died. By killing herself and becoming his bride. But not very many people would do that, as I said. So I guess this is the first time that it's happened. And he's just Not first time death falls in love. This is what it looks like. Oh boy. Ah yes, the common answer from any male to their wife if their wife does something pretty or interesting or sort of standoffish, I guess. They'll just cave in and be like, "If it's for you, my darling, I will do it." That is true. I mean, he should know how she died if she died in this life, right? If he's God of Death, he should know how she died. So he should already know everything about her and stuff, right? You would think so, but apparently he doesn't. So he may not be the Death God. Ah, of course. The normal response to whenever the husband or the man's going out with a crazy idea and the wife is just like, "I'm not supporting you in this. You're on your own for this." The typical. Oh, okay, where you gonna go? No, you can't have your eye back. But, but you see, a really good thing that could have happened is, although I know it'd be too cheesy and too too straightforward, is to have Vivi just pick up Aurora and just carry her. Because he can float, right? So he could just pick her up with his arms, princess style, and just carry her, right? That would be pretty neat. But I guess not. I guess he shouldn't, because she already warned him once about being too close and got his eye poked out. I wouldn't want to know what's next to disappear if he did that. I wouldn't want to know what happens next if he were to get more physical. I do not want to know what would happen next. It would probably be the typical anime, get too close to the girl and she just kicks you in the balls or punches you. Oh, someone's in the trees. I knew it. I knew someone was hiding there. Okay, so he's laughing. Okay, so he's either, this should be fun. Okay, so maybe he left the body around and he's the mastermind? I mean, he is the only one that so far has been shown that stayed. Or I guess he's introduced now and he's apparently watching them? So he might have dropped off the body. But he looks just so terrifying or something. The trees! Trees come alive to hunt. Tree protection. Okay, so here's something important we learned. We now learn that the place they're in is Rivlange. Rivlange. And that's apparently where they're at, is in the city. And it looks like they're at a cake shop and there's people walking around, so it could be the afterlife. The sun never rises. I guess so she confirms that the only thing she knows about is that the sun never rises. But you would think she would know more if she was married to Death, because you would expect Death to fill in on how things work and stuff, right? But apparently not, or it's too early that Death doesn't trust her yet. But with the way he looks at her, I can't believe that he would try to hold a secret in. Although I could see him holding in the secret if he thinks that telling her about it or whatever would ruin him or ruin his chances. I guess could be a possibility. But I'm surprised she doesn't know more. That means she must have been recent, most likely. Because I would assume if she's been here a while, she would have found out information and stuff. But since all she knows is the sun never rises, I'm assuming she has to be recent. She had to have recently died. Or something. Oh. She just saw something. I mean, you could be on Earth. This could be another Earth or something else. I mean, it could be the afterlife, but in the afterlife, you don't expect yourself to die again. Although, you could sort of have it be where if you die, you get resurrected or you get reborn. Like in which religion is it again? Where you die and then you get reborn. It could be like that, sort of like you're in the middle ground, which would be, I guess, would probably be purgatory or limbo, which is where when you die, you just sit there for a while, and then after something happens or whatever, you move on to getting reincarnated, or you move on to heaven or hell. Maybe that's what's going on here? Because this seems like a city, you're wearing clothes. The god of death isn't telling you anything. He doesn't seem to make bodies disappear at will. And people can die. So it could be purgatory. Could be limbo. Who knows? The author does, of course. Okay, so we confirm that people can still die here. She confirms that. And we confirm my assumption that he hasn't told her anything yet. So, she must be new then. Or it must be a while. But it has to be recent because of the way the business was and stuff. Because it had to be like maybe day 1 on the job or something. Or day 2. I would assume so. Oh, is that the same guy? Is he just watching them from the corner with his foot up like a what's it called again? I don't know that pose. A happy girl or a happy I don't know how to describe it. It's very cheesy, I would say. I would say that pose that he's standing in is pretty cheesy. Now, Victor could have wrote that message, but it doesn't seem like he did. And why are the text in different color? Like, we've seen purple for Vivi. Aurora's speech bubbles are always orange or orangish reddish. I'm going more with orange. And then that guy we saw was pinkish / purplish. In between pink and purple. And yeah, right? Pink and purple. Yeah, pinkish. Pink looks like more pink than purple. Okay, that's a possibility. Ah, yes, eating a cake. I mean, cake's good, man. Sugar's good. I love sugar. I mean, he's an immortal being, so-called, or death god, so if he's able to function without a neck or anything like that, you can assume that when he eats something, it just disappears or instantly disintegrates and absorbs into his body or something, where he's just eating because it's a normal thing to do, and he could literally, he doesn't need to eat. That's why he doesn't really need to eat, and that's why you don't see where any of the stuff goes, because he just eats it and it just disappears instantly somehow, instead of going down the throat, because he's a god. Now I'm doing quotation marks because it hasn't been confirmed whether or not he's a god, and it hasn't been confirmed whether or not he is the god or not, or it's just someone that's playing the death god, you know, like dress up, has similar powers but not all the powers. We'll find out, won't we? Won't we? But for now we can assume he is the death god, and that's why I'll keep quotation marks going until it is 100% confirmed that he is the death god. Ah, yes. Much better with the lines on that time now. So he's insanely in debt, but he can afford cake. Oh wait, the owner gifted it to him, so I guess that's fine if the owner gifts you free food. Free food is free food. I mean, getting cake isn't useless. It's to feed his appetite, he could argue. But I guess since he doesn't seem to have a phone or anything, I guess he is being useless because she's the only one that's looking around on the phone. Oh, you found her? Looks like it. Minori, reportedly passed on. Okay, so yeah, we can sort of have a hint that this is limbo or purgatory. And it's the judgment phase of moving on, essentially, it looks like. Because if the arthroprince passed on, then that means that this place is a redemption or a place where souls get judged, pretty much. I think it's purgatory and limbo, sort of. But a mix. And yeah, so if you pass on, you then go to heaven or hell. Or you get reincarnated. Who knows what happens after they pass on. Only time will tell from reading. But dang, she looks good. I guess. I'm not sure, okay? I read for the context and the story, not really for the artwork. I read for the plot more than the artwork. I will admit that. Because I am supporting some creators that don't have the best artwork, but the plot that they have is perfect. I just love the plot. Whoa, the largest company? The largest company. Okay, so now we learned something. That Harmonet is the largest company in Riverlange. So now we learned the number one company in Riverlange. And it looks like it produced the phone too. Because you saw the logo of Harmonet. Is that the currency, I'm assuming? I'm assuming that's the currency that this world is. This purgatory slash limbo Riverlange is pretty much. Greedy man. Of course! Lady. First thing you do in business when you're running a funeral or funeral is you want to make the most bang for your buck here. So of course we're gonna have a big company pay for it if they was their employee. Of course we're gonna do that. But why though? Like, it makes sense. Like, when you do it, like, okay, their employee, they could, in this world, that company might have, considering he's the death god, he could know that the rules or whatnot is more or less the fact that if you're employed, you get free funeral service and you have to pay for their funeral or whatever. So if that's the case, then I guess it is true when it says we're gonna be rich then, because if the company pays for the funeral and it's the largest company, oh boy, he's gonna be rich. He might even get out of debt, which is what he says. We still haven't discovered why they have eyeliner or the dark eyes, dark eyelashes, and or something, whatever those are called. Okay, here she goes thinking. Wait. Is that a smile? Is that a smile I see? It looks a tiny bit like a smile. It does look a tiny bit like a smile. Otherwise, my eyes are playing tricks on me, and the fact that I'm thinking that it's a smile is just pushing more onto it that's a smile. But if you look at it, the way the lip is drawn, like that, with her eyes looking down, you can tell she's in thought, right? But then here, she looks up, and the lip, her eyebrows look the same. Yeah, they all look the same. The eyebrow positions, exactly the same. Okay, I must be interpreting this wrong, but I literally think that's a smile. I could be wrong here, but if you take the fact that when she looks down, it looks like she's in thought, and then when she looks up, if you instantly go straight from looking at her looking down and then looking at her up, it looks like she smiles a tiny bit. It looks like that's her smile, because I can tell you for a fact that my face is about anyone who knows me in a given in-person reaction will know how blank my face is when you're talking or when I'm thinking. Like, even when you see me reading it sometimes, or in my other reviews, when you see me read, I'll be like, just a blank face. Or if something's funny, I'll go, like, most people who know me know that I am pretty not disinterested in most things as she is. Which is one of the reasons why I think I like it so much, is because she sort of incorporates the way I feel my facial expression works in social interactions and stuff. But yeah, I think she's smiling there. I could be wrong. That isn't a smile. But to me, now that I notice it, if you go back from this panel to this panel, it looks like it's a tiny bit of a smile. She does smile. Maybe that is secretly how she smiles, just by the way the eyes is. Who knows? The author, we'll find out later, but maybe that's why the author gives the eyes. Mostly with Aurora's eyes and positioning of her face sort of features tell you how she's really feeling. Could be her smiling, thinking of, for now, it's not so bad staying with him. Like, I feel like internally, the reason why she smiles a bit like that is because she's like, it's not so bad. I can make this work. I can make this relationship work. He's not so bad. Oh boy, but we got the creeper slash mastermind. Now, as we know, Aurora doesn't seem to have been there that long, so we can assume that him stalking is not because of Aurora. Although it could be because, who knows, because it could be saw her once when she visited town. One time when she visited town. Or visited that place. And he saw her. it could be that one thing where it's like instant love, where or love at first sight, and that's why he's drooling and decided to leave a and stalked all the way to where she works, and then decides to throw a body. But most likely, it's Victor that he's drooling over and stalking. It's most likely Victor, the death god, because she hasn't been there that long, so it's not likely that it's less likely that he's doing that for Aurora. He's most likely doing that at Victor, which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, it's just to say the least. Maybe she has competition with him. Oh, maybe. Who knows? Only the author does, in time. In my reviews. But yeah, and then we got the colors, like I was mentioning before. We know that Victor's is purple because of his text, and because we already seen his aura go off when using it. Now, we can assume that his color is pink because of his speaking. What the author's been constant with the past 2 episodes is keeping the characters' colors, what they say in their bubbles, the same color. So we can assume that maybe the colors have meaning later on. Well, we can confirm for sure that the purple color, he gives him his power, or his purple is power. So maybe pink also, we might see him also have powers like him, which would make him a god, I guess. So maybe he's another god, and Aura is another god, the reincarnation of Death's first bride, but I'm not sure because he was blushing. Who knows? But maybe she also has god powers like Victor's because of the color underneath. And if she is, maybe she's life. Maybe she's the god of life, the goddess of life. I wonder if she's the goddess of life. You know, because life and death, you always have those two always. I guess you could say they work together, because without death, you can never really have life, because some organisms live off of death. But now I'm just rambling on. If you stayed this long, I hope you enjoyed that ramble on colors and stuff. But other than that, if you stayed this long, thanks for watching. Remember to support the author by going to her website, which is down below, and going to the webtoon and reading it if you don't prefer the website. But honestly, I prefer the website because this is where the good quality is at. Other than that, yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and when you comment, please tell me how I'm doing with this review. Tell me if I'm analyzing too much, or if I'm giving too much detail, rambling on about things, repeating things. Just tell me these things, because it will help me make it better. Also, tell me if you would still like it in one episode, if you still like one chapter per review, or if you would like me to do 2, because of how long this is. And if you stayed this long, thanks, and just keep in mind what I said. So, hope you enjoyed, and after all, as always, with the ending, hope you have an endless night tonight. Bye.